I'm not asking if you have to do it. I'm asking if the way the federal government is doing it makes you comfortable or not.
I want to be consistent. As I said, you trying to get a yes or no answer to something that I've been consistent on. Federal government must deal with immigration.
So Dana Bash is trying to get Mayor Eric Adams to be on her side, to say the things that she wants him to say. But unfortunately, this brother is trying to position himself for higher office. We clearly see that. So he's being a lot more neutral than he's ever been before.
Are you openly working with the Trump administration? I mean, as you work with them on these issues, are you comfortable with the way in which they are rounding up and deporting people, especially in the case of what is going on right now with a federal judge ordering the Trump administration to facilitate the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and the administration is refusing?
Well, you know, one thing I'm clear on is that I'm not a hypocrite. I've been very clear on my policies. And if we look at the wording and the communications I stated Trump, the mayor, President Trump being elected, it's the same. There's consistency. And what I am clear on, we must have federal immigration policies. When you allow an open border and you allow anyone to come through, you have a $7.5 billion price tag on our cities. El Paso shouldn't be going through this. Chicago shouldn't be going through this. New York shouldn't be going through this.
Yeah.
I don't control immigration.
I hear you, and you've been really clear on that it's a federal issue, but you're also a lifelong law enforcement official. You have to have an opinion, never mind the mayor of New York City.
Yes, and as a lifelong law enforcement person that from the 84 talked about public safety as a prerequisite to prosperity, I stay with that. Our federal government must deal with the immigration issue, and it should not be placed on cities. And the Constitution clearly lays out the federal government will handle immigration. And we can't say based on who's the president, let's be consistent. And the hypocrisy is that what I've raised during the previous administration, I would say again now, the federal government on all levels must deal with the immigration crisis.
Just to put a button on it, because the previous administration and this administration, as you have laid out, they're dealing with this in a different way. Just to be clear, you are, yes or no, you're okay with the way that the Trump administration is handling the immigration situation in New York City and beyond right now?
What I said over and over again, I'm going to continue. The federal government, that's not only the president, Congress, everyone must focus on what we've been doing with immigration in our country. Here in the city, we have a large number of immigrants that participate every day in the quality of life of the city. The mayors should not have to do this. That includes the Chicago mayor, the Denver mayor, the Houston mayor.
I'm not asking if you have to do it. I'm asking if the way the federal government is doing it makes you comfortable or not.
I want to be consistent. As I said, you trying to get a yes or no answer to something that I've been consistent on. Federal government must deal with immigration.
So Dana Bash is trying to get Mayor Eric Adams to be on her side, to say the things that she wants him to say. But unfortunately, this brother is trying to position himself for higher office. We clearly see that. So he's being a lot more neutral than he's ever been before. He's been having conversations with Trump. He's been, moving away from the far left talking points like he's always been. But this is the guy that Dana Bash is trying to take up for. Let's keep in mind that illegal immigrants are already criminals. They're criminals for simply being here unauthorized and not doing what they have to do the proper way in order to become American citizens. If anyone was to break into our house, we're not going to sit them down for coffee and discuss a diplomatic way to handle this. We're not going to tell them that you don't have to get out of our house. You can do whatever you want. We'll provide you with all the resources possible so that you're comfortable. Let me run upstairs and get you a blanket and a pillow. Are you hungry? What about thirsty? Can I get you some water? Can I get you some juice? Would you like a Corona? We're not going to do any of that. In 2021, this man's wife went out of her way to get a court order for him, and it wasn't for fun. He beat his wife's ass on numerous occasions until she decided, I had enough. I'm going to the court system. She wasn't going to snitch on him. She wasn't going to go to the court or try to put a court or protective order on against him, because she knew that since he was already MS-13, since he was not an American citizen and didn't have papers on him, that the likelihood of him being sent back was higher and higher. So she tried to keep that under wraps, but she had to protect herself. Now this brother has been deported back to the country where he was actually born, in El Salvador. And now we have Senator Chris van.hall going out of his way on taxpayers' money to bring him back, to cape for him, to do some sort of a campaign to get people on his side. Damn that, man. Focus on your constituents. Focus on American citizens. Focus on the task at hand. But what they're trying to do is grandstand, build up a case against Trump so that they have a leg to stand on. And it's all politics. So when I see people playing politics like this, even Dana Bash she's a professional. She's like the ultimate professional. She most certainly is, but she also chose her side. And that's the unfortunate part. She chose not to be objective. She chose Democrat talking points. That's what she wanted to hear from Mayor Eric Adams. He wouldn't give it to her, and she kept getting more and more and more frustrated. Well, in my opinion, that's exactly what her long chin ass get.